In this compelling video, we dive into the recent policy shifts under the Trump administration, specifically focusing on the renewed push for drilling in the Arctic, coastlines, and public lands. Following the undoing of several environmental protections, we'll explore the implications of rescinding environmental impact statements and lifting offshore drilling restrictions. Join us as we examine the priorities surrounding fossil fuel development, the reopening of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and the controversial decisions affecting critical ecosystems, including the Tongass National Forest. Discover how these moves are reshaping America's energy landscape and the potential consequences for our environment. 1. Rescinding environmental impact statements. One of the most critical moves by the administration has been the rescinding of the final supplemental environmental impact statement for the Coastal Plain Oil and Gas Leasing Program in Alaska. This decision effectively removes the environmental assessments that previously safeguarded the area. These assessments were designed to evaluate the potential impacts of drilling activities on the delicate ecosystems of the Arctic. Without them, the region is left vulnerable to the whims of oil and gas companies. The rescinding of these statements marks a significant departure from the previous administration's cautious approach toward environmental protection. 2. Moratorium on leasing activities. A temporary moratorium has been placed on all activities and privileges granted to parties under the Coastal Plain Oil and Gas Leasing Program. This moratorium halts existing protections against drilling, leaving the future of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge uncertain. Although termed as temporary, it raises questions about the long-term intentions of the administration concerning these lands. This move has been met with both support and opposition, reflecting the ongoing debate between economic development and environmental preservation. With the moratorium in place, stakeholders are left in a state of limbo, awaiting further directives. 3. Reinstating previous decisions. In a surprising twist, the administration has reinstated the final environmental impact statement and the record of decision from August 2020. These had previously been suspended but are now back in play, facilitating drilling activities in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. This reinstatement effectively reverses prior decisions aimed at protecting the area from industrial activities. It underscores the administration's commitment to unlocking the region's potential oil reserves. This decision is seen as a victory for proponents of energy independence but a setback for environmentalists who fear irreversible damage. 4. Lifting offshore drilling restrictions. The Interior Department has lifted restrictions on offshore oil and gas development, opening up previously protected coastal areas to drilling. This move aims to increase domestic energy production but has sparked concerns about potential oil spills and their impact on marine life. Coastal communities that rely on tourism and fishing are particularly worried about the consequences. The lifting of these restrictions reflects a broader strategy to tap into underutilized resources. However, it also raises questions about sustainable development and the balance between economic gain and environmental stewardship. 5. Expediting energy project permits. Executive orders have been signed to expedite permits for energy projects, including those related to fossil fuel extraction. This reduces the environmental review processes that often serve as a check on potentially harmful projects. While this aims to streamline energy development, critics argue it undermines environmental oversight. The decision to expedite permits signals a prioritization of economic interests over ecological considerations. It sets a precedent for future projects, potentially paving the way for more aggressive energy extraction activities. 6. Prioritizing fossil fuel development. The administration has directed agencies to prioritize fossil fuel production on federal public lands and waters. This marks a significant shift away from renewable energy initiatives that had gained momentum in recent years. The focus on fossil fuels reflects an economic strategy aimed at boosting domestic production and reducing reliance on foreign oil. However, it also raises concerns about the long-term environmental consequences. The prioritization of fossil fuels over renewables has sparked a renewed debate about the nation's energy future and its implications for climate change. 7. Reversing conservation measures. Dozens of conservation measures implemented by the previous administration have been rescinded, including protections for public lands and restrictions on drilling in sensitive areas. This reversal represents a fundamental change in the approach to land management and environmental protection. While it opens up opportunities for resource extraction, it also risks degrading ecosystems that have been carefully preserved. The decision to reverse these measures highlights the administration's commitment to economic development but poses significant challenges for conservation efforts. 8. Opening the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, ANWR, to drilling. The administration has taken steps to open the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to oil and gas drilling, a move that had been previously blocked due to environmental concerns. The ANWR is home to diverse wildlife and pristine landscapes, making it a contentious site for industrial activities. Opening it up for drilling represents a significant policy shift and has sparked widespread debate. Proponents argue it will boost energy independence and create jobs, while opponents warn of the potential for irreparable environmental damage. This decision epitomizes the ongoing conflict between development and conservation. 9. Targeting the Tongass National Forest. The administration has targeted the Tongass National Forest for potential logging and mining activities. Previously protected due to its ecological significance, the Tongass is one of the largest intact temperate rainforests in the world. Its targeting for industrial activities raises concerns about biodiversity loss and carbon emissions. The decision to open the Tongass to logging and mining reflects a broader trend of prioritizing economic interests over environmental preservation. It also sets a precedent for other protected areas, potentially paving the way for further exploitation. 10. Renaming Denali to Mount McKinley. In a move that has been criticized by some as politically motivated, the administration has announced plans to rename Denali, North America's highest peak, back to Mount McKinley. This decision has sparked controversy and debate about the significance of place names and their cultural implications. While some view it as a return to historical nomenclature, others see it as an erasure of indigenous heritage. The renaming of Denali highlights the complex interplay between politics, culture, and geography, adding another layer to the ongoing discussions about land use and identity.